Welcome to my first video on Orgonite. This weird looking stuff that you always see me post about on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so it's going to take a couple videos to cover this fully. So I'll start with a little bit of a history. This starts with a man named Wilhelm Reich. He was a student of Sigmund Freud, the famous psychoanalyst, and he was actually one of his top students and came over to America to continue the study of the libido and the fact that the theory that this libido is the same energy that is found in all life, aka life force. He dubbed it orgone, and he was able to capture it inside of vacuum tubes and it would glow blue. And that was some pretty hard evidence that this stuff existed. And there was other things that, you know, you can look into the history. I'll try to link there's a good documentary on YouTube, I'll link that here. But anyway, so this dude was suppressed the whole time he was working because he was onto this amazing discovery, and he made a box called the Orgone accumulator, and it was made out of wood, and within the wood was alternating layers of fiberglass and steel wool, alternating layers, and you could sit inside the box, and these alternating layers of organic and inorganic material would attract both polarities of this orgone energy and bring it into the box and would heal the body. And now the FDA, being the awesome agency that they are, they had a real problem with this. So they were harassing him for many years for his accumulator, and then when he started using this technology, he was curing cancer. He was curing all kinds of stuff. People who were sitting in the box, you know, it was pretty miraculous. But he saw it as a science. So he started using this technology to manipulate the weather for good. He would actually go to farmers where they were having drought and they were, you know, struggling to survive, and he could project this energy into the sky, and it would allow for natural weather patterns to pass through, and it would allow for rain to come to areas of drought. And once again, the government did not like this very much, so they were on him. They had FBI following him, and it's a pretty interesting story that, you know, this is just stuff we don't get. You have to seek it out, and now in this age of information, we have the internet, we have all this access to all this information. You just have to use discernment. You have to be your own, be the judge of everything you read, and take what works with you and throw out the rest. But anyway, I digress. Reich eventually ended up in prison, and there's a lot of disinformation on the internet right now. I know that one person was trying to disprove what I was saying or whatever by just regurgitating the very first. If you Google this man, the first thing will probably be a Wikipedia disinfo article. So you have to look a little further down. You have to dig a little deeper to get the truth, and you will find it. They were suppressing this dude because the first case of success he had with this orgone accumulator was a couple who were having infertility issues, and they were trying to have a baby, and he was able to help the wife with that. You know, she sat in the thing. I think he was having both of them sitting there. I don't remember the details, but soon after the treatment they had their baby, and because of that, the government and the media twisted it, and they smeared him. They did a smear campaign on him to make everybody think that he was crazy and he was some fiend because he helped some fertility, and it had to do, with fertility and sexual issues, they spun it and they made it sound like, oh, he was enhancing sexual pleasures, and it was like the erotica box, and they had all these names, and they were like straight up coming out with it in the media, in the newspapers, and just totally destroying this guy publicly. And when really he was an enlightened, Christ-like, this guy was doing miracles and healing like a lot of people, and of course the controllers come in and smear him. So fortunately the technology lived on, and it was further developed. Instead of a layering, we're using a matrix these days. So what this is it's a matrix of plastic and metal. So I use just polyurethane, like boat or surfboard resin, and very fine particles, and you mix them together into the mold, and you add quartz. You add quartz crystals. Selenite's good. There's different minerals that you can use. I'm not going to get into the details of the science. I'll do that in the next video. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick history, and these things do a lot of really cool things, but they do generate the life force, and it's proven that, I won't say proven because you need to prove it for yourself, but the evidence is there. You just have to choose to look for it. So I'm going to cut this one right here with this, and check it out, you guys. I'll add some links on this video, and I'll make the next video probably right now.